My XO took credit for my entire project in front of the battalion commander. I was a first lieutenant working in operations at Fort Carson. Spent 6 months developing this new training program for urban combat scenarios. Completely redesigned how we prepared soldiers for deployment. My XO was Captain Harrington. Smart guy, decent officer, but always looking for his next promotion. He knew I was working on this project because I briefed him weekly on progress. The training program was innovative. Combined virtual reality simulations with live exercises. Reduced costs by 40% while improving soldier performance scores. I had data backing up everything. Colonel Prescott, our battalion commander, wanted a briefing on new training initiatives. Asked for volunteers to present ideas. I immediately raised my hand. This was my chance to showcase 6 months of work. Harrington pulled me aside after the meeting. Listen, the colonel responds better to senior officers. Let me present your program. I'll make sure you get mentioned. I hesitated. This was my project, my research, my data. But Harrington was my direct supervisor. Refusing felt like career suicide. You'll be there too, he added. Just let me do the talking. Trust me. Presentation day arrived. Conference room full of senior officers. Colonel Prescott, his staff, company commanders. I brought all my materials, charts, spreadsheets, everything. Harrington walked in with a single folder. Didn't even glance at my stuff. The colonel opened the meeting. Captain Harrington, I understand you have an innovative training proposal. Harrington stood up, completely confident. Started presenting my entire program as his own creation. I spent the last 6 months developing this approach. I analyzed deployment data, interviewed returning soldiers, ran cost projections. Every word was my work, my interviews, my data. He didn't change a single detail, just replaced we with I. I sat there stunned. Colonel Prescott was taking notes, nodding along. Other officers looked impressed. My XO was getting praised for 6 months of my sleepless nights. This virtual reality integration is brilliant, the colonel said. How did you develop the scenario parameters? Well, sir, I cross-referenced after-action reports from the last 3 years of urban operations, Harrington explained smoothly. That was my methodology, word for word from my brief to him last month. I wanted to speak up, say something, but everyone was focused on Harrington. He was commanding the room, answering every question perfectly because I'd already answered those same questions for him weeks ago. The presentation ended to applause. Colonel Prescott stood up, shook Harrington's hand. Outstanding work, Captain. This could change how we train across the entire division. Harrington beamed. Thank you, sir. Happy to contribute. Not a single mention of my name. 6 months reduced to nothing. After the meeting, Harrington caught up with me in the hallway. See? Went great. The colonel loved it. You didn't mention me once, I said quietly. He shrugged. You're a lieutenant. This needed command presence. Don't worry. It'll help the whole unit. I went back to my office furious. Started updating my resume. If this was how the army worked, maybe I needed to find somewhere else. 2 days later, got called to Colonel Prescott's office. Figured Harrington had complained about my attitude. Walked in expecting the worst. The colonel was sitting at his desk with my original project folder open in front of him. Every page had my name on it. Lieutenant, have a seat, he said. I need to ask you about this training program. My stomach dropped. Yes, sir? Captain Harrington's presentation was impressive, but I do my homework on major initiatives. Asked my staff to pull the development files. He tapped the folder. Your name is on every document, every email, every data analysis. I didn't know what to say. So I'm curious, the colonel continued. Did you develop this program? No point lying. Yes, sir. I spent 6 months on it. He nodded slowly. And Captain Harrington's contribution was what exactly? He supervised the project, sir. I briefed him weekly on progress. Supervised. The colonel leaned back. That's different from developing. That's different from what he told this command staff. He picked up his phone. Have Captain Harrington report to my office immediately. 10 minutes later, Harrington walked in, saw me sitting there, and his face went pale. Colonel Prescott didn't waste time. Captain, I have documentation showing Lieutenant Brennan developed the entire training program you presented. Care to explain? Harrington stammered. Sir, I oversaw the project, provided guidance and direction. Did you tell me I spent 6 months developing this? Did you say I analyzed the data? The colonel's voice was ice cold. Silence. Stolen valor exists outside combat too, Captain. Taking credit for subordinates' work is theft. It's dishonest, and it violates everything we stand for as officers. Harrington got an official letter of reprimand, killed his promotion chances, got reassigned to a staff position where he pushed papers and attended meetings. I presented the program again, properly credited this time. Colonel Prescott made sure everyone knew whose work it was. The training program got adopted division-wide, led to my early promotion to captain, got selected for the Army's Advanced Training Development course. Harrington never spoke to me again. I didn't care. Turned out the colonel's daughter was an Army officer too. Someone had stolen credit for her work early in her career, nearly derailed everything. He'd made it his mission to watch for that behavior ever since. That's how my XO took credit for my project and immediately regretted it.